all the other noblemen and women were as well. It wasn't just some simple spell.
Noble men and women who do nothing but sit on thrones, sit on chairs all day.
But to do
You
that
are
much at once?
Tell me more of this Chamberlain.
I didn't really get a good look at him. Before I knew it, I was standing up and walking towards the prince.
Eridar, since you actually was looking at the Chamberlain,
Mm-hmm.
his form shifted to that of a black as night individual. His body seemed to be just dripping malice. In one hand he held what looked to be pure energy, but colored of a very sickly green, and in the other hand he seemed to be acting as a puppeteer to all those around.
Okay. Then I would explain that in great detail.
He also seemed to have skin that had been plastered to his face, like that of what you would see on a lich.
And that I would definitely mention.
That's a very important detail.
That was no mere human. If anything, it was a lich. Of great power, it would seem.
I'll let Falivor go, but I'm going to stay silent as I walk out of the room. And before I leave, I'll just call back to them and say, I shall meet you at Eridar's temple. And I'm going to go off.
Okay. Alright, as you leave the castle, you all are able to go in wherever you'd like within the city. You are all given rooms at Eridar's temple, and for the next 2 or 3 days all is silent in the capital until on the 4th day the proclamation was made of Prince Jaws's passing and Prince Alon's Bright's abduction by a being of great power. And the city falls somewhat into a despair. But like all cities, it starts to go back to the way it was. People are still very upset, and anything relating to the royal family, to any of the nobles, is kept very, very tightly held. No one makes any comments, no one makes any suggestions, no one says anything about them for the next couple of weeks. You all are still there for the next few weeks. About a month will pass before the next actual portion of the game begins. During that time, you still have to pay for any of your... You still have to pay for your livelihoods, your day-to-day.
If they stay with me in the temple, they do not. Per the Acolyte background. Well, I guess food they have to pay for, but as far as places to stay, they can stay there for free. At a modest lifestyle.
Okay.
Shelter of the Faithful feature.
Give me a second.
Yep.
Because I thought that was for you.
It says
I'm an
free-
entertainer, so I'm set for myself. I can get room and board for myself. Though, granted, if word is spread of what happened there, that might not
It's
work out
page
so well.
127 in the book, Shane.
Give me a second.
I think Shane's on the PDF.
Yep, but just cut up.
Okay, I apologize. It doesn't say you can stay there. You can receive care. Free healing and care It doesn't say you can live there.
Okay. Those who share your religion will support you, but only you at a modest lifestyle.
Okay, yeah. So you can get free healing, but only I can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, my apologies. I combined too much of that paragraph.
Yeah. You are. Which is your feature?
Hmm?
You're an entertainer, correct?
Me?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. By popular demand. You can always find a place to perform, and at such places you receive free lodging and food of modest or comfortable standard depending on the quality of the establishment as long as you perform each night.
Yep.
Okay. So you're fine. For the remaining 2, you do have to pay for your lifestyle for the next month. Excuse me. Now that's not a significant amount, but that's part of the game. They expect, in between adventures for there to be downtime that you're paying for and that you can do other little things to try and make some extra coin.
Yeah.
Now, as well, this was supposed to be the end of the prologue.
That was the prologue? I'm kidding.
Hey, the prologue for his other game that's taking place at the same time took us to level 5.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, understand that my games are, on average, if I'm putting my effort into the game, I expect it to be long.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I love this game.
Mm-hmm.
For now, Evan, I've acknowledged your message.
Alright.
As you get back to the temple, several of the priests request that you go outside and cleanse yourself. And they go outside with a very cold bucket of water.
It's fine.
Because you said you smell strongly of booze.
Oh yeah.
For 2 days after he left the castle, he left the castle and pretty much immediately bolted.
You say he...
He's
This
talking
is
about Baldric.
Okay.
Baldric pretty much immediately bolted,
Mhm.
and he did not show back up at the temple for 2 days.
Okay.
That's when he showed up at the temple, and this is for Eridar, because Eridar is actually there,
Mm-hmm.
and he came reeking of alcohol.
Okay.
And as much as a metal man can, he came looking mildly distraught. But no matter what, enough alcohol will help level you out emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Either you forget,
Or you just don't give a shit anymore.
or you're numb.
Baldric? Are you okay?
I'm alive.
This I can see. You, seem to have consumed a bit of drink.
Yes, I'm not allowed to enjoy myself.
There's enjoying yourself, and then there is hurting yourself and not facing reality.
But the reality is I'm made of metal, so what harm could booze do?
Actually, that's a very good out-of-game question. Can he legitimately get drunk?
He can, but it takes an extensive amount because he has a different type of immune system because his body doesn't actually metabolize anything
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't need to eat or sleep. So his
Right.
body just kind of exits it.
Right.
So He's not necessarily drunk. He reeks like a wood and tin thing that's been soaked in alcohol.
Yeah.
Musty barrel.
It's like busting open a barrel of meat or something.
Try like a barrel of meat that's had metal shoved into it.
Okay.
And there you go. So thick on iron, thick on rust smell.
My friend, let's get you inside and cleaned up a bit.
As you start to welcome in, that's when the priests turn you guys around with a bucket of cold water.
On second thought, let's clean you up out here and then bring you inside and we can talk if you need to.
I don't mind the bath, but I also do not wish to set foot in the temple. It is not a place I feel I belong.
Very well. I will of course not force you.
And then after the bath, I'll tell him everything that happened with Lord Dine. And then ask him if he knows where Falavor is.
Oh dear, that is very troubling. I believe I do know where Falavor is. He is staying somewhere along a strip of inns that are paying very well for his performance.
Craig, you
Yes.
have such a monotone role playing. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Sorry,
oh
I'm-
no. Whatever
You're-
will we do?
You're
I'm sorry, I am very, very tired tonight.
I am so happy to see you all again.
activate emotion happiness. Winky face.
Winky emoticon.
Mika's dying back
Your
there.
mic in the background.
Continuing.
He does the same thing at other games too. He's got he doesn't put inflection in his voice.
Craig, we still love you. Don't worry.
We love you, Craig. I mean, who else is gonna tank for me?
Anyway,
Oh,
once he tells me where he thinks Falavor is, I'm gonna go look for Falavor.
okay. Given some time, you're able to find him. He is at an inn. He's been there for the past couple days. Ever since you guys exited the actual castle. And he seems to be playing somber music, which he's not getting as good of a response for. And I'm only saying that he's playing somber music because of what just happened.
That's what I would have told you anyway. Thank you, Shane.
You're still getting a place to stay and food, but you're a lifestyle down.
Yeah.
Because your playing is beautiful, but my patrons don't come here to cry. Or at least I don't want them to. And on the third day, since he was out for 2 days, comes Baldric. Eridor, did you go with him? Eridar.
Yes.
Not
Yes, I
Eridor.
would have.
Okay. And following is the Dragonborn.
I look over at the barkeep and I flash him a little sign asking if I can take a break.
He looks at you and is like, he just kind of waves his hand in a affirmative.
Okay. I set my veal down and walk over towards them. Oh, it's good to see you two again. It's been a little bit.
As soon as he gets close to me, I'm going to drop to my knees and just say, Falavor, please forgive me for my actions.
Oh, Baldric, you're a big dumb metal man. I can always forgive you for what you do.
What? dumb metal man. That's the perfect excuse. Go kill somebody, Baldric. Go murder his mom. You're a big dumb metal man. It's fine.
It's cool.
But just don't ever doubt me again. That's... I was scared there for a moment when you had me against that wall.
My actions were inappropriate, and I do apologize.
Well, considering what you walked in on.
The way he phrases it just makes it sound like he walked in on you like
Having sex with his
Jacking
wife.
it.
you're in the middle of doing it with Maya.
Don't mind me, I'm just humping the dead corpse here.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Wearing
that's some sort of
corpse's a
necrophiliac
hat.
thing that I wasn't exactly expecting to show up in my game this early.
This-
I don't know, Shane, you had the pile of dead bodies earlier.
Yeah, I thought we made a necrophilia joke already. But anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
Momentarily, Meha, with your request, you can. There are quite a few churches. The largest church, and the one who seems to be most applicable to it, would be the Church of Pelor. And the Church of Pelor, if you describe what was described to you, they do call a head priest over, and the priest speaks to you briefly and tells you, if anything, if it came from Lord Dine, then that was a prophecy that had taken root. The same happened inside at the birth of Prince. Wow. Blag.
Prince M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know.
Prince Alon's, because I wanted to say Alphonse. I was like, no, he's not that much from Full Metal Alchemist. Prince Alon's at his birth.
Armstrong's my husband.
I'm sorry?
Armstrong's my husband. He's so dreamy.
Whatever. And it was said that that granted a measure of protection from the magics of evil. Okay.
Alright.
He says that unfortunately there's not much that I am capable of doing at this time, for based on your statement, any magics of that variety have to be dispelled within the day of their casting, if it is something that is cast.
So what do I do?
At this time, just watch and ensure that nothing further happens. If it is a power of prophecy, then he has been both blessed and cursed with a measure of protection and a foretelling of what's to come.
Okay. Kind of leave disgruntled. Go back to Metal Inn.
Yeah, I figured.
To think it over and whatnot. Talk to people and see if I can't learn like more in terms of like old tales or just other thieves. Anything I can figure. Just reaching for anything I can.
Okay. Well, most people don't have any other information. A couple people said that they were there at the birth of Prince Alon's, and they saw something similar. And throughout all of his childhood, it seems he was able to survive and get away from anything that would harm him, whether it be an assassin, whether it be a wild animal. Something always seemed to be available to protect him. And that's the only story at this time that you can find, because even the oldest people, they wouldn't remember anything much before Prince Mikal.
All right.
All right, and then as a pause, back to the other three.
Mhm.
Eridar, you obviously have a place to stay,
Mm-hmm.
and Falavor is able to get a place to stay. Baldric, are you going to just pay for your regular lifestyle?
How long of a period of time did you say we were there?
It's going to be a month.
It's going to be 1 month.
1 month. And during that period of time, you are eventually approached by what looks to be a a delivery boy, or I wanted to say herald, but it wouldn't be a herald coming out to you, who requests your presence at the castle. You're not actually allowed in, but Lord Bryan will meet you all at the castle and provide you with the gold that was to be your reward.
How much gold was that going to be?
The total amount was 1,000 per person. So since there were 3 people who came back, each person gets 1,000 minus you.
Yeah.
So lifestyle expense. A poor lifestyle is 2 silver piece a day. A squalid lifestyle is 1 silver piece a day. Modest is 1 gold piece a day. Comfortable is 2 gold pieces. Wealthy is 4 gold pieces. And aristocratic is 10 gold pieces. You are not able to take the wretched.
What is wretched?
Wretched is free, but you are literally in the shithole of everything. You don't have a home. You don't have anything.
You eat from the garbage cans.
You huddle in old crates, and usually you are considered a leper.
Well, for the first week at least, I'm going to live as poor. Allow me to.
Okay. Squalid. You've rented a rat-infested room out of a boarding house in the worst part of town.
Good with that. And not eating and just drinking. But I'll still pay whatever the normal thing is for it. Or however much you tell me to.
I'm sorry, try that again?
I said I'm not going to be eating anything, I'm just going to be drinking, like,
Okay.
booze and stuff. For the
Alright.
first week at least. And then after that week, wherever Falavor is staying, I'm going to just get a room in there.
Okay. Wherever Falavor is staying, it's a modest lifestyle is what is a room you're able to do, so it'd be 1 gold piece a day. The squalid is 1 silver piece for the first week, so 7 days cost 7 silver pieces. The remaining 21 gold. Meha, are you going to... What is your lifestyle that you're going to be looking for? Are you going to show back up and live in the inns that Falavor and Baldric are staying at?
No, I'm gonna stay where I went.
Okay. For the most part, most of the inns in the city are going to be comfortable or modest. You may be able to get away with a poor, but if you do that, I'm going to roll to see if you are stolen from.
I'll just do a modest then.
And that's because even you know that people are
Oh,
going
yeah.
to know you have money after that, because it was
After what happened, yeah.
after what happened. So if you aren't staying someplace with at least some sort of moderate protection, they're going to see you as an easy target.
Yeah. I definitely know that with my background, so.
Okay. So modest lifestyle once again is 1 gold piece per day.
Mhm.
You're not going to run into any noble people. You're also not going to run into beggars or poor people normally. For you, Baldrix, your squalid lifestyle, anytime you leave to go to one of the wretched dives nearby, you know, run into the poor, the downtrodden. There's not many in this city, but there's still enough to make you understand just how fortunate you are with the amount of treasure that you have just been granted.
When about would I got like when does the
About
treasure
the first,
come on?
you get it about 10 days in, so
Okay, so I would have already been with Falavor
correct.
at that point. Okay.
Okay. That answers the question I was about to ask.
10 day in, yes.
Yeah, because I was about to say at some point after that I'm going to try to approach a blacksmith.
Okay. Most blacksmiths will have rapiers of appropriate size already prepared. You're going to be looking specifically, though, not for a blacksmith, but for a weaponsmith.
Weaponsmith, yeah.
And the reason for that is most blacksmiths are going to be working on tools, nails, shoes for horses, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Weapon and armor smiths are the ones you're going to have like 2 or 3 in the city at most. And they're the ones who are going to be the ones who create weapons and armor for the king's men and private individuals such as yourselves.
Mhm.
All right. So a month will go by, and all of you find yourselves together again in the same inn, the same tavern that started it all. And Urtog Big Arm is still there. Now, you guys don't actually have forms here, because we're going to take a minor break right now.
Yay!
Oh, aren't you?
Now, I do want to let you know, when we come back, really, there's not going to be much time left for games, so I'm probably going to just go ahead and have to call it now.
Okay. If you want to call
We
it
got-
now, that's fine, because I can...
Let's call it now. I know normally we're supposed to have about 3 hours, and this ended up being about 2.
Yep.
But that was a pretty hefty, emotional ending there, so I think that's a good stopping point.
Okay. Real quick, Shane, how much does a rapier cost, if you know?
Like, not a lot. Give me a second.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
it's like-
looking something up so I can tell you in a minute.
Okay.
I've already
Rapier
got the
is-
equipment open.
Yeah, I forgot it. 25 gold pieces.
25
Yeah.
gold? Alright.
Like I said, not a whole lot.
Especially when you just got 1,000.
And I didn't really have to spend any of it because fucking entertainer background.
Alms for the poor.
You did not get 1,000. I'm sorry,
Alright.
Craig.
I know. I have 15.
As a heads up, Craig, because like I was going to say this in the thing, but since we're kind of calling it here, my character was going to give you 200 gold for coming with us.
I would not take it.
My character would heavily insist on it.
That's nice.
Uh-huh.
If not, give it to your temple.
That I will do.
Why? Why won't you fucking just update?
You're trying to update.
Damn. Shut up. Not you, Magpie. I'm not trying to update you.
Well, you just got to plug the USB into your dog's ass, and then...
Default token.
Why does my character have to be a lawful good paladin? That's 200 gold. I could buy splint mail.
Blythe Splint Mail.
Yeah. They could get a whole nother AC.
Woo!
Why won't it do it? Hey, anybody have any idea how I can make the default tokens update with the proper HP? Instead of making you guys change it every time I put you in a new map?
No clue.
I haven't screwed around with any of that, so no.